Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Wealthy Good Life podcast. One of the things I hear a lot is
Yeah.
it's tough to balance, enjoying life's little luxuries
Right.
with, well, not going broke.
Yeah.
Today we're tackling a big one, eating out.
Yes.
How do we savor those restaurant experiences without derailing our budgets?
It's a great question,
Right.
and one that I think a lot of people struggle with, especially now.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel like you have to choose between, enjoying a nice meal out and keeping your finances in check.
Right. It's almost like this unspoken pressure.
Yes.
You want to be social, you want to try new places,
Yeah.
but then the bill comes and you're suddenly questioning every appetizer you ordered.
Exactly. I think that's where a lot of the stress comes from.
Yeah.
But the good news is
Okay.
there are so many creative ways to be a more savvy restaurant goer without sacrificing the enjoyment factor.
Okay, let's dive into those strategies.
Mm.
What are some of your top hacks for people who want to keep their dining out budget in line?
Well, one thing that I always recommend
Yeah.
is exploring the world of discounted gift cards.
Okay.
Sites like restaurant.com often have deals where you can snag a $25 gift card for $10 or even less.
Wow.
It's like getting free money to spend at your favorite places.
That's a fantastic tip and one I've used myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget those sites even exist.
Yeah.
So it's a good reminder to be proactive about searching for those deals.
Yes.
Speaking of being proactive, what about planning our restaurant visits around specific days or times?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of things like weekday lunch specials or early bird dinners.
You're spot on.
Yeah.
Many restaurants offer fantastic deals during off-peak hours to try and fill those seats. You can often get the same delicious food for a fraction of the price just by adjusting your schedule a bit.
That's a great point, and it's something I'm definitely guilty of not always considering. Sometimes I get so focused on the convenience factor that I forget about the potential cost savings.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about timing, we can't forget about the happy hour haven.
Oh, absolutely. Happy hour is a classic for a reason.
Right.
And these days, it's not just about discounted drinks.
Okay.
A lot of restaurants offer amazing food specials during happy hour as well.
Oh, fun.
You can snag some appetizers or even smaller entrees for a steal.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's a perfect way to sample some dishes you might not normally order,
Yes.
or even try a new place without committing to a full-priced meal.
Exactly. It's all about being strategic and maximizing those opportunities to save.
So we've got gift cards, we've got weekday specials, we've got happy hour. These are already some solid wins.
Yes.
What are some other ways we can be more savvy when it comes to our restaurant choices?
Well, here's one that might seem obvious, but it's often overlooked.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to share.
Ooh, interesting.
Restaurant portions these days can be enormous.
Yes.
And splitting an entree with a friend or loved one can be a great way to save money and potentially reduce food waste.
That's a great point. And I think it also encourages more mindful eating. Sometimes we order these huge portions out of habit.
Yes.
But when you share, you're naturally more aware of how much you're consuming.
Exactly. And it can also lead to some fun conversations about the food and sharing those experiences.
I love that. It's like you're getting a 2-for-1 deal, saving money, and enhancing the social aspect of the meal.
Totally.
Now, here's another tip
Go ahead.
that I think a lot of people could benefit from. Become a leftover champion.
Yes.
Ooh, tell me more.
It's all about maximizing the value of your restaurant meals.
Okay.
Instead of letting those leftovers languish in the fridge, think of them as ingredients for future meals.
Well, I like it.
You can turn that leftover chicken into a delicious salad for lunch the next day,
Yeah?
or repurpose those roasted veggies into a quick frittata.
You're speaking my language. I'm all about minimizing food waste and stretching those dollars.
Yes.
And speaking of stretching dollars, we can't forget about the trusty coupon.
Right.
In a world of digital everything, I feel like the humble coupon sometimes gets forgotten.
You're so right. Coupons are still a fantastic way to save money on restaurant meals. You can find them online in those good old-fashioned coupon mailers.
Yep.
Even on restaurant websites themselves. Don't be shy about searching for those deals.
And sometimes those deals come in unexpected ways, too.
Yeah.
Like those surveys you often see at the bottom of receipts. Fill one out and you might score a free appetizer or a discount on your next visit.
Exactly. It takes just a few minutes, and those rewards can really add up.
It's amazing how many little opportunities there are to save money
Right.
if we just take the time to look for them.
I completely agree. And I think that's a key takeaway here. Being a savvy diner is all about being proactive and informed.
Yeah.
It's about making conscious choices that align with both your taste buds and your budget.
That's such a great point.
Mm.
And speaking of being informed and making conscious choices, if you're enjoying these tips and want to explore even more strategies for creating a wealthy, good life you love, head over to wealthygoodlife.com.
Yes.
You'll find tons of resources, articles, and inspiration to help you live your best life on your terms.
It's a fantastic resource full of practical advice and motivating stories. Definitely check it out.
Okay, so we've talked about some really practical hacks.
Yeah.
Gift cards, weekday specials, happy hour, sharing entrees, leftovers, coupons.
Right.
It's like a whole arsenal of money-saving tools.
Oh, yeah, yes.
But sometimes it's not just about the external strategies.
Right.
It's also about our internal approach to dining out. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Our mindset plays a huge role in how we approach pretty much everything, including our dining out habits.
So true.
Like, what are some mindset shifts that can help us navigate the world of restaurants while still feeling good about our finances?
Well, one of the most powerful shifts you can make
Oh.
is to move away from impulsive dining out
Yeah.
and toward more intentional planning. Think of it like budgeting for any other expense.
Yeah.
Decide in advance how much you're comfortable spending on restaurants each month, and then plan your outings accordingly.
I love that idea. It takes the guesswork out of it.
Right.
And helps you avoid those moments of,
Yeah.
oh no, did I really just spend $50 on lunch?
Exactly. It's about making conscious choices, right?
Exactly. And those conscious choices can extend to the individual meals themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of automatically ordering an appetizer or drink entree and dessert,
Yeah.
pause for a moment and ask yourself,
Okay.
what will truly satisfy me and bring me joy in this moment?
Ooh.
Maybe it is the full 4 courses, but maybe it's just a delicious entree and a shared dessert with a friend.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get caught up in this idea of what a complete dining experience should look like.
Yes.
But really, it's about customizing it to our own needs and preferences.
Absolutely. And sometimes the most satisfying and budget-friendly dining out experience happens right at home.
Okay, now you're really talking. Tell me more about this home dining revolution.
It's all about reclaiming the joy of cooking and creating delicious, budget-friendly meals in your own kitchen. It doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. Start with a few simple recipes that you love and build from there.
I think there's also something really empowering about cooking for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking control of your health, your finances, and your overall well-being.
I couldn't agree more. And it can be a lot of fun, too.
Yeah?
Experiment with new flavors, try different cuisines, get your family or friends involved.
You know, you've just given me a great idea. Sometimes I think we associate dining out with a certain ambiance. The dim lighting, the music, the loads of conversation. But why not try to recreate that atmosphere at home?
I love that.
Right?
Light some candles, put on some music you enjoy, set a nice table. It's amazing how a few simple touches can transform an ordinary meal into a special occasion.
It's all about being intentional and finding those little ways to elevate the experience, whether you're dining out or dining in.
Exactly. And you know what? If the thought of cooking every single night feels overwhelming,
There are ways to make it more manageable.
I'm all ears. Share your wisdom.
Well, one strategy that's gained a lot of popularity lately is intermittent fasting. It's not for everyone,
Right.
but for some people, it can be a great way to simplify meal planning and potentially reduce the number of meals they need to cook each day.
That makes sense. If you're only eating within a specific window of time, you naturally have fewer meals to worry about.
Precisely. And if intermittent fasting isn't your cup of tea, there are other approaches you can try. One of my favorites is designating certain nights as no-cook nights.
Intriguing. What exactly does a no-cook night entail?
It's all about having a few go-to meals that require little to no cooking. Think salads, sandwiches, wraps, things like that. Stock your pantry with some healthy staples,
Yeah.
and you'll be ready to whip up a satisfying meal in minutes.
That's brilliant. Takes the pressure off those busy weeknights when the last thing you want to do is spend an hour in the kitchen. Exactly. It's all about finding those little hacks and strategies that make healthy eating and budget-friendly living more sustainable in the long run.
And if you're loving these ideas and want to explore even more strategies for creating a wealthy, good life, don't forget to visit wealthygoodlife.com. It's a treasure trove of resources and inspiration for living a more intentional and fulfilling life.
It's a fantastic resource, and I highly recommend checking it out.
As we're talking, I'm realizing that a lot of these strategies aren't just about saving money.
Hmm.
They're about being more mindful and intentional in our choices. It's about shifting our focus from mindless consumption
Right.
to creating experiences that truly nourish us,
Yes.
both physically and financially.
I love that way of looking at it. It's about aligning our actions with our values.
Yeah.
If we value financial well-being, healthy eating, and spending quality time with loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
then our dining choices should reflect that.
It's like that saying, vote with your dollar.
Yeah.
We have the power to choose where we spend our money and what kind of experiences we prioritize.
Exactly. And those choices, even seemingly small ones, can
Mhm.
have a ripple effect on our lives.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. Practical hacks,
Yeah.
mindset shifts the joy of cooking, the power of intentionality.
Mm.
What do you think is the most important takeaway for our listeners?
I think the key takeaway is that enjoying restaurant meals and being financially responsible don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Right.
There are so many creative and empowering ways to strike that balance.
Mm,
It's about being informed, proactive, and most importantly, making choices that feel good for you.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's about finding that sweet spot where deliciousness meets financial peace of mind.
Precisely. And when you find that sweet spot, it's like a whole new world of dining possibilities opens up.
Well said.
Hmm.
And remember, if you're looking for more guidance and inspiration on this journey toward a wealthy, good life, be sure to visit wealthygoodlife.com. We've got tons of resources, articles, and a supportive community to help you every step of the way.
It's a fantastic resource and a great way to connect with others who are on a similar path.
Absolutely. And on that note, I want to thank you, our amazing listeners, for joining us today on the Wealthy Good Life podcast. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into a topic that matters to you. Until then, keep living that wealthy good life.